Hello, I'm Toycat, and occasionally I'll still get comments on my Let's Plays from 2012, and it's shocking to look at the video and realize just how much Minecraft has changed. I mean, first of all, we should ask, why am I building from netherrack and gravel? But secondly, why do they both look so different? And it's a reminder that Minecraft is changing in so many ways that you'll be quick to forget. However, I couldn't help but wonder, how would my gravel netherrack pyramid that I thought was a good idea back then look if I were to build it today? And obviously this isn't a hypothetical because we're gonna go ahead and try to build this. So step one is to gather the resources. I'm gonna get a lot of netherrack, a full shulker box full. Wow, isn't that something that didn't exist before? I'm also gonna get a shulker box full of gravel, and then I'm gonna go down to the string farm, which, oh my god, there's a lot of string in here, and I'm gonna grab a few stacks of this as well. Then we grab a couple of lava buckets, and we're ready to head to a particular part of my world that I think would be good for this. And I figured a great area might be this over here. It's where two rivers meet. It's surprisingly deep. It really is like a miniature ocean, and I figured what better place to do this? We need to make our own gravel beach biome from scratch. They don't generate anymore, and given that I have a nether portal over here that I sometimes use anyway, this feels like the perfect place. And how am I going to do that? How am I going to build a gravel biome here? I can't build up from the ground. Well, that's where the string comes in, right? Because all we have to do is build a single block below the surface, just like this. Once the string is placed, we can just place gravel directly on top of it. And then from here, if we really want to, we can place our lava, although we should be maybe careful about that. Actually, do we need to be careful about it? I guess it'll just flow onto the water, creating stone, which we don't want, but it's not the worst thing in the world. But yeah, we're going to now place a ton of gravel around in the center of this area, making a kind of gravel beach biome on top of which we can build our netherrack. So we placed a lot of string, we placed a lot of gravel, and here's what we have so far. Ignoring the sad single lava that can't flow correctly, as you can see, things are going pretty well. We've got the base idea sorted, and something I love is just how satisfying it is to look at these string grids that we're placing down. This is honestly the best part of the entire project, just seeing these grids slowly form in. I think we should go to sleep, actually. It's been a long day of placing string. But yeah, things are going well, and the only question I have now, because you can see, I've deliberately done 1/4 of a pyramid, because I don't know the exact dimensions I should be building to. Should we get this exact, or should we go better? I think we can go better. And so let's take the pyramid idea, and rather than having it being an odd number of blocks on each side, let's make it a very deliberate, or an even number. Whatever, you can see when you look at the Let's Play that when we got to the top, we had an uneven pyramid and we just kind of had to live with it. This time we won't because we'll plan it correctly. My god, look how well I'm doing with this planning. And the idea is that by planning correctly, we can actually have a pyramid that works for us. The way that you guarantee you can always have a pyramid that isn't square at the top or rectangular at the top, I guess you want it to be square at the top, is you want to build from the top down. That way, if we make some mistake, by the way, I love the idea of using string to place your blocks off of, because then when you want to get the block placed away, because usually people use dirt or something, you just break it with your fist. It's very easy. As you can see, now we're at the top and it works. But if it didn't, if this was slightly rectangular for some reason, it went a block over here, we'd just be able to remove from here, and there'd be less work to entirely redo the thing. See, I've been playing Minecraft for 10 years, and I now know how to make squares correctly. I don't want to brag, but I'm kind of a fast learner. So, yeah, I'm going to get to sleep, and then we can question what's going on here. Because, as always, people like to ask how things are going. I mean, obviously, there's no vlog series on the channel. There's no weekly update like that. So we like to do it in the Let's Play, and the short answer to that is to kind of relate it back to how the Minecraft blocks, the netherrack and the gravel that we're using this build to compare, kind of changed all of a sudden, but also they changed slowly over a few different times. And so now, even though they're barely recognizable, it's still the same block we've kind of known, but it's clearly different. When you see the day and night comparison near the end of this video, it'll probably be like shocking. I actually don't know until I see it myself, but it'll probably be like, wow, that is something to behold, because I think that most dramatic changes don't happen as a day-night thing. I mean, that's what we love to see. That's why before and afters are such a great idea. But I also feel as though most change happens on this much slower timescale, and so that is also true for where my life is right now. It's been hard for me to kind of admit and recognize, because for so much of your life and for so much of, let's be honest, like the internet and social media and the way we talk about things, the way that things are seen as the best is when you can do this, amazing day-night transformation. Everything has to happen all at once. I mean, the way that people made money is definitely not via many years of investing in slow growth. No, the way it is this one simple trick that can turn you into a millionaire. That's why the lottery's popular, right? Everyone playing the lottery knows that it's bad odds, but they also know it's the one way that actually is true of being able to just overnight do a thing. There's basically no other aspect of life where without any effort, you can just stumble into all of the luck you need that can make something happen. Like, you can't just wake up one morning and your body's been like, actually, I've decided that you're in shape. You know all those issues you've been having? You know how your back's been hurting? Oh, it's gone now. And also, you've got, I don't know, muscles or slim thighs. Do people want slim thighs? I feel as though I always hear the phrase thick when people are talking about bodies, and like, to me, thick has this like really negative connotation to it, but at least for people who like to say thick with 2 C's, it is a compliment. Or I even saw someone say like, oh yeah, really fat rear end, and it's like, well, fat is a negative connotation word for me, but again, I guess society is always changing these things, and isn't that fun? Anyway, so yeah, my life's been moving slowly. Like, I've been working on some house things. I bought a house last year, and it's still like, just every day I've got to like chase someone up. In this case, today I had to like measure some bathroom things. That yesterday, I've been having some heat pumps installed. There's been lots of just tiny tasks like that, but also I feel as though just like the general wellness of my life has been going up in a way that is unexpected. I had like a very, very bad like January, I'd say. Maybe a bad, like, honestly, last half of last year. And but things are looking upwards. I'm getting back to the travel that makes me feel like whole and at one with the world. Which means I can actually get exercise again. Because for some, I don't know why. I find it so hard to just walk like, I don't know, 30,000 steps if they're not different places. If I was on a treadmill for 2 hours, I would want to die. Like, I don't know how anyone can focus their attention span. Also, I don't think I need to place the gravel here. It's kind of unnecessary, so we'll just skip it. I don't know how people ever do that, but instead, if I'm just like walking in a new city, walking to a new part of the city or whatever else it is, fresh experiences allow you to put yourself through more. That's how I don't know, that mountain was 7 hours of like strenuous exercise that I definitely couldn't do if it was on a machine, but because I was physically there. There's this interesting like premise of like, yeah, lots of things that are hard in the abstract are a lot easier if you just physically take yourself to a place. I think this is why gyms are a thing. Anyway, so the slow progress has been building, and it's been going very good. Thank you for asking. That's what my week has been like. But yeah, this slow progress really has been a realization that unlike many of the YouTube things, especially now the advice is always like, yeah, you blow up overnight. That's what happened to the one big green man and the other big YouTuber, And, the algorithm can make things like that possible. It's totally true. But it's also a realization to look at so many YouTube channels that I used to know back in the 2012 days when I made videos that sounded like this.
But in this part of my Minecraft for Xmas Let's Play, I'm going to be making a pyramid out of Nether. And I've roughly decided on the dimensions to go with something like 15 by 15 because that's 225 squared blocks, which is enough for me to, and then it's 13, 13, 11, 11, 9, 9, and so on. So.
And also that looked like that. But when I made videos that sounded like that, it was, it's weird to see like a lot of people who are like bigger than me then have either given up or like kind of downsized now, and a lot of people are in the opposite situation. They just grew and grew and grew over that entire time, and now you know them for various other things or games and stuff. It's actually kind of sad. It's almost like having a coworker leave, but you never really realize it. When like one of my old Minecraft friends starts a Roblox channel or a this channel or whatever else, and you're like, oh, I guess we don't work in the same building anymore. It's interesting stuff working in this virtual space that we all do. Also, yeah, I really like the way this pyramid looks on the inside. I don't know where my door's going to be. I guess it should be on the front here. We're going to make this out of pistons later, after we've placed our gravel down on the outside, and after we placed our lava back down. I'm hoping if I place this again now, it won't flow funnily. But I have suspicions. Oh, no, look, there we go. That's what I want. Except over there. Is lava just that broken in bedrock right now? I guess the answer to any question that starts with, is blank really that broken in bedrock, is probably, yeah. But it's still very weird to actually see. Anyway, let's get back to my favorite thing, which is placing string. Everyone loves a good bit of string placement, right? Seriously though, tell me you didn't love seeing those little squares be formed by the string. Okay, you're telling me that? Well, you know what? You're just being a contrarian, which is what I love to be. But before we can talk about contrarianism, I think what's important is to go and grab those pistons. I think they were an essential part of the original build, and just having the gravel by itself and the random sources of lava, of which we only have 4 off, which is definitely not enough, is, yeah, it can only take me so far. And so that's why I think it's time to go grab some. Since we're heading back anyway though, here's something I should have done a long time ago. I have a Nether portal that is only accessible by flying. Why don't we just build a staircase to the nearest landmass, and indeed my new pyramid, and given that we've got these 2 blocks anyway, let's use them for the building. Do you like what I've built here? I think it's pretty nice. Gravel and Netherrack, the 2 blocks that just always belong together because they're both so beautiful. Definitely top tier blocks. I mean, can you see any texture that looks as good as this Netherrack or even as good as this gravel? Or you could literally dine off this gravel. It's that high quality. And so yeah, this is now my new pathway from this thing over to that thing. Honestly, I should just move the Nether portal a few blocks to the left, or I should extend this whole thing a few blocks out. And then, yeah, that's basically the same. There we go, nice. This is perfect. There are no issues. And we can go back to our home to pick up the important lava. Was it lava I needed? I think it was string we were running out of. Oh, the crazy thing is, on the Nether side, this also just leads me to nowhere. So maybe it'd be worth... Honestly, it might just be worth putting some blocks up as a reminder, like, hey, maybe you want to go back that way, where it's safe. And so yeah, let's go through here. And yeah, it's funny in Minecraft sometimes you spend so long focusing on side projects, you forget your main one. Actually, you know what, that's the real world too. You know what, maybe the real thing to learn here is that there's a lot of things you need to do all of the time, and you should work out which of those you actually should do. Well, I've picked up the lava that I came here for, and wait, I think I was here for pistons. Man, right, there should be like a little notepad function in Minecraft. So you can be like, here's the important thing. You're going to crush your entire world for it. Make sure you don't do it for no reason. So let's see if we have any pistons lying around. I don't think we do. But I always have a few extra redstone blocks lying around in here. Aha, we do. 7 pistons, is that enough? Probably more than 7 if we're going to make a doorway too. Yeah, we'll bring 11 pistons. And we'll make 2 of those into sticky pistons. And then we'll bring some redstone with us too. Honestly, I built these Nether tunnels with horses in mind. That's why it's free tool. Even though, you know how I believe in building too high ceilings. But, it's funny, I built this with horses in mind. And then I just never went through the horse breeding process. And every now and then I think to myself, I'm gonna breed horses till I get a really good one. And then I just kind of don't. Maybe that's something we should commit hard to. It's just, you know, sometimes it's annoying because you just know, where are you gonna find the time for something? And so you just think, I'm definitely going to, just not right now. And so you don't make the time for it, even though it definitely is important and needs to get done. An example of that, I've been needing to register with a new dentist. I moved house 9 months ago. And before that, it's not like I'd been to the dentist because I was living in America before that. And so like, it's just one of those things where I'm like, that's important, but it's not right now or this week important. It's like, do it soon important. But the problem with soon is soon isn't always changing time frame. And so soon now means to me like, yeah, next couple of weeks. But then when 2 weeks has passed, it will mean, yeah, like definitely before the end of the year or something like that. And, you know, it'll mean another 2 weeks, I guess is what I'm saying. And it just kind of continuously becomes future me's problem. I think the most important thing you can do for yourself is have like a good relationship with future you, rather than future you feeling constantly like past you has screwed him. Because if future you feels like past you screwed him, future you is gonna screw, then present you's future you as like trying to get it back. You know how I mentioned this in the stream, but we have this weird human characteristic where we want other people to have experienced the same things we have. This is partially why people love making recommendations, for other friends and family and whatever else. This is partially why we like recommendations. It's partially why we have so many systems that seem so cruel, because like, yeah, I went through it, so you should too. Well, people who go to, hard schooling, they're like, yeah, well, I did these tests and studies. Why aren't you? There's like a certain, like, I'm going through pain, why shouldn't you? I think the driving test is a classic example of that one, right? Like, we can, or like, maybe a better example that is more universally accepted is, people who think that, like, well, people all suffer for, when you first move out, it's like genuinely this painful experience of trying to make all these new living expenses happen, and people are like, yeah, that's how it's meant to be. Then you have a better appreciation for everything else. And there's probably some truth to that, but it's also just we like to share experiences with people, and sometimes that means suffering. It also, happily enough, means we like to share things like, there's all sorts of weird experiences that I'm nostalgic for from my childhood that I think like, yeah, these are really cool and you should try them. Like an example I mentioned is I'm kind of sad that nowadays you probably wouldn't want to have like a big photo album that you print out and then go through to like show how people used to look and stuff, because you just be like, yeah, go on Facebook and find it yourself or whatever. One of the cool things sad things about tech replacing, pre-tech things like that, is that, yeah, if something is more accessible, it becomes less notable. And I do feel as though, because everything is online, no one cares about everything that is online, right? Like, it's kind of like if you're watching this as a YouTube video, for some reason, you've decided to put like half an hour of your life into watching a man play Minecraft. Wow, don't you know you can play it yourself? I can't believe you do that. But that's what you're doing, right? And that to some extent is really cool, because it means you can pick your personalized content, but it also means we no longer have this shared sense of like what is culturally relevant to everyone. When Game of Thrones was on the air, for example, like everyone knew it. Everyone was making references to it. There's all sorts of weird examples of like how it ties into pop culture, right? And there's a certain element of that you don't get. There's certain I guess what I'm saying is there's like a homogeneity that we all kind of like. Everyone, like, even though we love everyone being unique and different, we love it to all be within some shared framework, Like, oh yeah, we're all unique and different, but we all agree in the basic premise of, I don't know, democracy or rule of law or whatever weird system it is that you believe in. That's how things work. Anyway, so, yeah, I really, really love placing this string. I think I could... This might be one of my favorite tasks in Minecraft. Just making a giant underwater grid, like, kind of look like an electrical coil. Maybe I should just do that. Maybe we should give up on this whole pyramid thing. Which, by the way, in case you're curious, because there's a little entrance over here. This is going to use a couple of sticky pistons. I don't know how we're going to use sticky pistons now that I think about it, but it's going to use sticky pistons. Maybe like one... I guess we're going to have one facing underneath this, I guess, that can bring it upwards a block. Yeah, if this goes up one, and then... No, we need to bring two blocks down. So this block needs to go up, and this block needs to go down. So this will be there by default. No, it'll be one block further down than this by default. This will go over here as a default, on top of the string. And so when that's pushed upwards, that'll be in there. Whereas this one, oh, I see why that's an issue. This one has to come inwards, I guess. So let's grab my second sticky piston. Kind of annoying the way I've done this. We grab the second sticky piston, which I haven't made yet. And we have this one going inwards a block. Again, I'm not a redstone guy. Will never claim that that is what I am. Again, I know there's a category of person who thinks that no, you can't be learning redstone and make... If you are going to make videos where you even mention the name of redstone, you better know the T-flop, flip-flop, clock, hopper, beep boops. Oh, you don't even know how to calibrate the ticker chockers Oh, that's just embarrassing. You're gonna seriously post that YouTube video, bro? And it's like, okay, no, it's cool, man. We can all, you know what? You can post yourself playing Minecraft if you've never heard of Minecraft. If you really want to, that's totally fine. I think we should not be elitist where we can avoid it. Maybe I'm crazy for that opinion. Okay, so remove even more of this now. Okay, so there's like one block of there's one block of water all the way back in there, which is causing me problems. So I'm just gonna go out here, see if we can find it. Is it this block? I think it is, and there we go. Now the water is just flowing here, and if we did place a redstone there, it would be fine, which means we can place our regular block. Oh yeah, no, we're gonna need to get rid of the water in all of this actually. So we'll follow this along. As tricky as that is inevitably gonna be. So we'll place our gravel up there as the way to hide it around. So yeah, the whole plan is we need to have the redstone signal be hidden, right? That's our kind of issue we're running into. And like I say, it's an issue. It's arguably an opportunity. And so now we've got a whole little corridor of redstone over here. Or sorry, we've got a whole corridor into which redstone can be placed. And so that redstone can come from anywhere, but it's going to eventually end up at the piston. Perfect. Yep, we got this. Now the only other issue is how do we connect this second piece of redstone in there? Because this piston is pretty high up. I think we do actually use torches as the solution. You can use a series of torches to move a redstone signal up through stuff. And so what we do is we remove the block under the gravel, which makes the gravel full. And then we're going to have another redstone torch be just over here on top of this block, which is going to be tricky to do, but that's fine. So we have a... oh, it's actually not going to be very easy to do. These string blocks, actually... So we need to replace the string with netherrack really quickly before the gravel falls, which is surprisingly hard to do. Who would have figured? So we place our gravel... Okay, can we do this again? No, I don't think it is possible to do. I think the moment you break it, you... Oh, no, it is possible. Huh. Okay, so, new game. Can we stop the gravel from falling? The answer in most cases seems to be no. Then once we've done another one of these, which we'll do there, we can travel this redstone signal. No, we need to do another one of those. That's fine. Then we can move this redstone signal. Or we could just have it go one block below the surface and have this be kind of like an entranceway. Let's do that instead. So now now we remove these string blocks. And this is where the redstone signal travels. It meets this block over here, where I guess it's going to go, like, underneath the thing. Again, we're not going to question it too much. Maybe, wait, if we just make this a half slab of whatever block it is. It doesn't need to be redstone because it's hidden away. This is a half slab, then the redstone signal will transfer down onto here, where it will go into these torches, where it will go up to here. Okay, we found a solution. Now let's just see if we can make it work. It's very hard because it's hard to see anything. I sometimes like to think that I've come so far as a Minecraft player, but then I realize that I'm still making the same... like, this piece of redstone that I did many years ago, I'm now doing it again. And admittedly, now it's harder because I have to deal with water as opposed to just digging. But it's still... Oh, also, we basically perfectly nailed the numbers of pistons that we needed here. That's really cool. But, yeah, it's still fascinating that, like, all this time later, we still have to make the same thing with the same kind of challenge to it. And that, I don't know, it's not what you might expect, perhaps. Anyway, so next up, we're gonna replace these down, because I want the inside to look fine. I don't want you to be able to see the redstone that's traveling through here. That uglies things up, in my opinion. Which means we're also gonna cover this up by putting it in a full little, you know, like, again, we're gonna have like a proper entrance to this that goes both ways. So it's gonna be gravel wherever possible on the ground. But this is going to be covered up from at least the sides. From the back, we'll let it be possible to see, so you can be like, ooh, look, there's redstone happening here. But for now, this is the open form. Oh, which is a problem. We need these to be... You know, you either get to cross the moat or you get to have the thing open. That's on you way that this works, I guess. Yeah, these need to be on by default. You know, it's fine. We'll work that out later. Spoiler, I'm not going to work it out later. No, yeah, we actually do need to work that out. It's very important. Or you could have it be like these are always on and that's open, and then you press the button to turn it off. So yeah, somewhere along the line, the signal's going to have to flip. Yeah, we're going to have a signal flipper. Okay, so this is actually, oh my god. Yeah, this honestly, it's redstone, but you've got to fight monsters, which is a fun way to do it. I think that's the one problem you get with creative redstone. Like, everything's easier, but it makes you lose some of the realities of, like, what it's actually like doing things. And there's a certain satisfaction. You know, maybe this is just me saying it because I've suffered, and now I want to encourage other people to suffer in the same way I have. Also, we can actually just go below all of this because the redstone's going to go on top of each of these blocks. And it's going to come inwards from the side. There we go. Yes, it is. So now the redstone goes inwards to each of these blocks. And it runs along a big old conduit on the side here. And a conduit in the real sense, not the Minecraft weird quirky block sense. And then we cover this up with blocks from the top. We're going to use... We should use gravel. Because it'll be under lava anyway, it doesn't actually matter a great deal. So we'll use Netherrack to cover this from the top. Then we'll, from the side, place a couple of blocks. Netherrack here. I guess Netherrack on the other side too. Just to make sure it's absolutely covered from all directions. And then we need to make a way to actually access this. Also, we need to remove... Oh, we didn't even finish all of this. So we need to... Oh yeah, this is a big old problem. There's going to be a lot of string in this ocean when we're done. Just, come on guys. You know I've got something to do here. If this was super flat, I'd be much more excited to see you. But is it super flat? I mean, this build is relatively flat, I guess you could say. Okay, so now we're here. We got it. We don't have our inverter yet, actually. That's one thing we're gonna need to work on. And that inverter is gonna go right over here, right? Yeah, over into this block. After we've... Oh, I hate you so much. And now this single bit of redstone just goes in and out of all of these. And then once it hits the very end of this, it goes into this block. For some reason, it's not going to. We might have to reroute it. And once it goes into that block, the redstone torch, which I have not lost, turns on there. I wonder if you can actually have this activate, or if this has to go in from the particular angle. If it has to go in from that angle, then what we're going to have to do, it's going to be painful, going to warn you now. What we're going to have to do is the same thingamajig, but just with a little bit of extra space. Make this go an extra block wide. We'll do it now just as an in case, actually. We have our redstone torch go on the side here. And now that is turned on. And that's open. When these pistons turn on, that opens. I don't know how the redstone can make it all the way along here, but not to there. It doesn't look like it actually is. But just to confirm, we break this torch. And then eventually... Nope, they just stay open. Well, clearly we didn't solve anything. Oh, because that's not going in correctly. I think we need more redstone. Where do you think we get redstone at this time of night, internet? I think there's clearly only one place. I mean, I don't want to do it, but it is the clear solution, right? You know, I can't. Oh, actually, we can light it up just by giving it a little poke. Yeah, I don't think I can bring myself to do that. I don't, just, you know, to destroy something beautiful is just too much for me. So instead, I guess we're going underground. Or we'll find a witch to kill. Oh, in the quirky block box, I do just so happen to have some redstone ore. It's like I was planning for this moment. I definitely wasn't, but I'm going to pretend that I was. Get a couple of stone so I can... Actually, it might be freestone. So we can make the base. And there we go. Saved by the random... This is why you need to have an ender chest filled with things that you don't even understand, just for this exact moment. Yeah, this feels good. It's been so long since I've actively needed redstone. I think, though, even looking at the chest at my base, like, I'm running a little bit lower on redstone than I would probably want. And so I think we're at the exciting time where I might get to go on a redstone mining expedition. Should we do a redstone mining stream even? Ooh, yeah, we could. See, it's weird. A lot of the, because a lot of the, you know, my very early years in Minecraft, because, you know, that Let's Play I showed you was from 2012, right? It's kind of an interesting thing when you really dive into it. Also, I need a crafting table. Where do you make... you know what? I'm going to have to chop down do my usual tree crafting table technique. But, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it sounds like I'm just saying I'm going to chop down a tree to make a crafting table. Like, I've got this really cool technique. You're never going to believe this, right? The way I make a crafting table never done before by anyone else, is I go up to a tree. I sometimes will use my pickaxe, but here's a pro tip just from me to you, friend. Use an axe and the wood goes faster. Then you can turn that wood that you just got, throw this into this little thing. It's called the crafting inventory, and you get these oak wood planks. You take those and you put them in there, and get this. You're never gonna believe this. 4 of them makes a crafting table, and the crafting table allows you to make all sorts of weird other blocks. Like, look at this. I can make a redstone repeater if I want. Do I want? Apparently so. And yeah, that's my little pro tip, just between me and you. But yeah, I meant obviously replacing the tree with a crafting table. If you replace 1 block in every tree with a crafting table, you've made the whole forest more useful. Oh no, I don't know what I've done, but it's not good. And so yeah, for this to actually work, we have to go into there like that. So then we remove this block here. But then this one will be inverted when we need it to be not inverted. So instead we have this one come over from... I guess we just use another redstone repeater for this block here. And that way it won't interfere. Yeah, that's the solution. We just make another redstone repeater. However, will we make a redstone repeater? Just like with all good things. We go to the bottom of the ocean. We mine 3 stone blocks. You'll never even notice them, but they're gone. We get a ton of... Honestly, you know what? This whole biome was made of gravel. Why did I bring gravel with me when I could have just used that? Then we go to another tree in another forest. I don't think we have many other forests. Actually, not. This tree right here. Why does it not have a crafting table in it yet? That's something I think I can solve using my legendary crafting table technique. So get this right. I've worked out an amazing way to craft in Minecraft. All you gotta do is use the sword to chop down the loga. Then, once you prepared it, you wanna throw some redstone torches in the air, and then quickly, while the tree's not expecting it, you grab the oak log. The oak log can be turned into 4 wood planks. If you wanted to, you could use it as 1 log, and you could place that back how it is. However, I don't actually recommend that. I recommend what you do instead is you take it, and you turn it into these weird plank things. I've never seen these before in Minecraft. You won't believe that they exist, but they do. And yeah, then you want to take this little crafting table and you throw it in there. And you know what you've done? You've made yourself the crafting tree. And yeah, every tree should be like this, I swear. And so yeah, we just need a second one of these. We also need a few of you guys. We're running low on food. And by running low, I mean we've only got 40 steaks, so we need to kill a few animals. You know how it is. You know how it is. And yeah, let's fly back here. Okay, yeah, it has to be a repeater. So that has to be a repeater, and there has to be 2 repeaters here. That's the only way this whole thing works. Seems complex, but we'll accept it. Okay. Are you ready for this, internet? I'm going to show you something amazing. You've probably never seen it before, but it's called the... Again, actually, it's one of these pro-level techniques that even the top-level speedrunners try not to, you know, like, make too public, because it will change your life. But it's called the crafting table technique. And so what you do is you want to take a piece of string and you want to place it all sides of a tree. Then you want to use the remaining piece of string to break the tree, and you'll get one of these oak log things. This is one of the rarest, most valuable items in Minecraft, probably. And you want to take these and you want to put them in the crafting table like this. At first, it's not going to work, but you want to do the ABXB cancel / and then you get this little crafting table, which you place down, and now you're ready to make yourself some repeaters. Except, apparently we're not. There we go. And so now we got our 2 redstone repeaters, we get our string back, and now another tree is slightly better. Okay, so now, the fact that I have to fly around just to craft tells you the level of quality in my planning. And now there we go, it works. It was needlessly complex, but now we can cover this whole thing up. And if I'm not mistaken, and there's a very decent chance that I am. Yeah, okay, I spent so long on this, and I think the easy solution is probably something along the lines of, okay, destroying everything again. As always, as is tradition, but we make this a tiny bit wider, and All we have to do is just have it come in from a different angle. I wanted to not do that. I don't even know why. But sometimes you just need to say, okay, well, that didn't work. Let's make a version of it that does. And now we don't need all these extra repeaters, which we're going to keep anyway. And then that comes in from the side. There's a redstone torch over here that's at the wrong way round. And then that way, whatever happens with this redstone signal doesn't happen to that redstone signal. Which means now, after all this effort, we are finally capable of having redstone, which, as you can see, will turn on and off. Except that one there, which I think we just need to place a block back on. There we go. All of these little pistons will come out, making a little pathway. At the same time that comes in. So when the signal's off, all of it's turned off. There's lava. It's terrible. When the signal's turned on, it's good. Perfect. We've solved it, which means now the last thing that we have to do is place the gravel and the lava around my lovely little pyramid, as well as, let's be honest, build the floor for the pyramid. Right now, it's built out of mostly gravel, but I want to use more netherrack. I feel as, you know what? It's so much gravel that I think we might be best just finishing off the design. So let's place the string. Fine, let's do it that way. But yeah, I really love redstone as like a learning mechanic, and I feel as though like it's one of those just fun systems to experiment with. Because it's so interesting that, like, you know, again, you might watch all sorts of videos that can do amazing things, like literally automate some of the core functions of Minecraft. But then when even if you look at that same stuff, you're the same person who's just seen that and who knows how all those blocks work. Sometimes you can be like, wait, how do you make an iron door open? I'm just not sure about that. Is it like, how do you craft one? I mean, I don't know how I've not seen the crafting strategy yet. I hear that's an MLG level technique. You know, like, more seriously, it is, like, genuinely a struggle. And there's something cool about learning things. Like, I used to hear people say this all the time and think, like, I don't know about that. I think the best, like, people say things like, oh, yeah, the day you stop learning things is the day that you're brain dead or whatever. I used to think, well, surely at some point you'll, you know, like, hit the point where you've learned basically everything you need, and that anything else beyond that point is just, like, not excessive, but, like, basically excessive. But, yeah, I really do realize that even at the, you know, like, as I become a proper adult who definitely should know all the basics to at least survive, it's like, no, there's so much learning required to, like, even basic things, like, there is a type of tax in the UK, it's like the equivalent of, like, I don't know, state tax that you pay to your council. Like, you have to pay this because they provide your local government services. And it's like, working out how to pay that can be really, depending on your borough, really challenging. And there's no like, this is how you do it that you could teach in schools, because it will be different in every council in the UK. Like that, you know, if you are in the UK, most people don't need to do their own taxes. It's, you know, it's the weirdest thing when I hear about Americans doing tax returns, because in the UK, like, it's like done by your employer, because why wouldn't it be? Like, everyone wins if your employer does it, because then you don't know how much you're being taxed, and the government can, you know, play around with those numbers in a little bit more of a fun way. And then also, you don't have to put in any effort, and, like, you know, like, they'll always get the right amount, and they can take more. Everyone wins if you don't pay your own taxes, and they're paid for you, on behalf of you, and you just see the post-tax number, and you're like, yeah, I guess there's fees and stuff. You know, I always feel as though, like, I know it has to happen. That creeper is very dangerous, by the way. That is an accident. Just praying to happen. Yeah, it's a sign I need to go to sleep. You know, the sun is rising anyway. We got through the whole night. I think I've earned this one. So what we're gonna do instead, because I'm basically out of string. I lied, I've got tons of string. Okay, so because I'm not out of string in the slightest, I'm now gonna place all the gravel around here on the other side of this, because I want to have the lava go through here, so you can see the cool effect of a lava coming out, of pistons coming out through lava. It was one of the effects I was really excited to see all those years ago, and now we get to duplicate that excitement in everyone's favorite, most valued way. But yeah, there is a real excitement to be had in, like, learning a new thing correctly and, like, being good with it, because yeah, like, life is filled with these challenges that are always coming your way, and sometimes it's just exhausting, and you do just want to be like, I don't want to learn this new system. Like, I used to not understand why so many old people would insist on calling a website when calling up for anything, right? Like what, you know how like so many support services like, oh yeah, you can reach us via social media, or here's our phone number. And it's like, oh fuck. Not only are phones like this really expensive thing to staff, you know that the person working in the call center doesn't want to be doing this for you. Like they are just there because the business knows it is an operational requirement to have this thing. And it's like, why would you put someone through something they didn't want to go to when you can just go on a website? Websites are easy to learn and stuff. But there is this just element of like, I've learned how it works this way, and why would I do it any other way? That I think we get more and more of as we grow older. But yeah, no, and also I've noticed more and more, the depressing thing, as someone who hates phone calls beyond anything else, so many websites and airlines and all sorts of just businesses have just decided that the only way that something should be done... no. I'm just going to leave him there, and I'm going to regret that decision later. But until then, I'm just going to keep putting it off, because that's great. But like, you know, if you want to make changes to a flight, you got to call someone up. I wanted to, like, the phone call I've been putting off forever was calling up my credit card company because they owe me £5.37, but it's for a closed account, so they can't just give it to me. They need me to, like, verbally confirm a few things over the phone. And it's like, yeah, why don't we make everything that can be done online possible online? Why do we deliberately have some things that you have to call up a person for? I wanted to do something today, and it was weird, and they wouldn't let me do it. And it all feels very unnecessary being like, yeah, just give us a call. Because to me, that's always just a polite way of saying, hey, do you feel bad about calling people? Here's a benefit you can't take advantage of. Like whenever I rent a car, the car service I use, they will give you a pickup and a delivery to and from your house. But they say, like, make sure to give us a call before your reservation and to do this, that, the other. It requires 2 phone calls. One before you want to be picked up. Sorry, one when you make the reservation, one when you want to be picked up. And it's like, that's a cool feature. But it's also, like, 2 phone calls and a lot of waiting. And then being in a car with an employee for, like, a while. It's like, oh, yeah, this is... I think I'll just take the bus. And that's what I've done every time since. Is that me being silly? Is that me going too far to avoid social interaction? It feels like it's like not making the adult decision, right? Like, you know, normal people can just get over this stuff and enjoy the benefits that come with something that they've paid for. Oh no! Okay, I'm fine. See, this should be the wake-up call that I should stop doing what I'm doing here. But it's not. It's definitely not. Okay, we're going to trap him in there. There we go. Problem solved. See, and people say that you have to deal with your problems head on. Those people are lying to you. Hate to tell you that's true, but they are. And so now what we can do, we're also going to place a gravel block here, is we remove this. We're going to have to place something there later, but we just place our lava over these blocks. As long as the source blocks aren't directly on the things, we're fine. Ouch. So we place another one over there, and another one over here, maybe, and then like, I don't know, another one that's like right there. And so now, we also have to place some more, I don't know, like around here. That seems about right. There we go. This is, this is a perfectly representative example. Now what we can do with our non-existent lever, so we're just going to keep using redstone torches, sure, is when we place our redstone torch, as you can see, the pistons pierce through the lava, like so, and now we can run across it. If you're really, really brave, and you definitely shouldn't be, because you can run across gaps like this, what we could actually do is we can... Oh, God, no, not for very long. But you can run it. Why is it that only sometimes you can run across a 1 block wide gap? I've never been able to work that out. There's got to be like a momentum figure to it. But as you can see, we can now get inside and enjoy the zombie spawner that we have inadvertently created. Except, wait a minute, we can avoid even that pain. Because all we have to do is in each corner, besides the spawn one, place one of these blocks, and then we use our trusty flint and steel right here. And now we got fire, and now it's cozy. Then what we can also do, something I should have done. Oh no! Just gonna keep on ignoring this problem. Yeah, well, you know, we'll just there we go. If you download the marketplace map after we do the next update, this can be your problem. Anyway, now what we can just do is we can make the top look like this. And now you're not even going to notice that there's no top. And there we go. I really hope this doesn't fall in now, actually. Let's just make that a little bit safer. Okay, we're fine. There we go. Now we've got it lit on the top. Now we got it lit on the inside. And now we've got ourselves a functional desert Netherrack temple surrounded by gravel. Just a few touch-ups later. I say later, but what I actually mean is right now. I'm going to go through and painstakingly throw all these blocks down. I have finished and created something that's very beautiful, and by using this pressure plate, I can make sure that you can activate it in like the fun way where you have to leave a block on there, but then eventually that block also despawns, or if a zombie comes over it, then you'll fall in the lava too. You know, there's enough ways that this can go terribly for you, and yes, I have managed to recreate the terrible Netherrack and gravel build, but it does look so different. I mean, part of that is the fact that I built it in a very different part of my world. It's 10 years later, we're in HD, as opposed to whatever quality that video was in. That was at the time a HD capture card, like it was one of the best ones on YouTube, but like looking back, it's so weird to see. But anyway, you can see they're in a very different quality and a very different era, to say the least. But also, it's cool to see the exact same build, but here again from a very different angle, and with the exact same patchy lava that we could totally avoid by using, you know, like the infinite lava that does exist now, but instead I like existing in just this way that it does. Anyway, let me know what you think, because I've enjoyed this video. If you did too, then be sure to subscribe or something. Let's be honest, no one watches a Let's Play and this is the first video and now you're considering subscribing. You're either subscribed already or you're not. Consider unsubscribing. I mean, you know, videos are only going to get worse. But no, if you do consider continue to subscribe, thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting the channel in whatever way it is that you do. Even just watching and, you know, like all the way to this point is something that's really appreciated and helps out in some way. That, you know, like I genuinely appreciate. It's the thing that keeps me in the job that is one of my favorite things to do. And so thank you for existing, because you allow me to exist in the world. I guess thank you for existing because you allow me to subsist. Because subsisting is like surviving, right? I do a lot more than subsist. I mean, I eat lobster rolls. You hear about how fancy those are? They're like expensive. Anyway, speaking of expensive, this video was I mean, I was gonna make a joke that this video was free and therefore not expensive. Technically speaking, thank you for editing this, by the way. Do a fun edit on screen now. But yeah, no, it's this is a fun time. I like to sometimes just revisit an old thing and see it in the new, and this is what we did for that. Okay, goodbye.